everyone, my name is Jasmine Martin, and I'm doing a little, not skit, but a Facebook Live today just so I can get this out of my head, and I'm trying to share my ideas from now on as much as possible, whether it be a Facebook Live, a blog, a YouTube, whatever it is, because I have so much going on in here, and I just know that if I could share it with the world, it might help, right? So I recently, in the last year, I've gone on this huge mega self-love journey, right? And I've done my best to share what I learned through it, some self-care tips, some boundary tips, right? But now I'm really focusing, I feel like my self-love is not complete, but pretty good compared to especially what it used to be. So now I'm kind of changing a little bit and moving to self-discipline, which I feel is the next step. So for self-discipline, I'm starting off with continuing a morning routine consistently, right? So I'm waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning for the next 365 days, right? But I know that it's one of the best times to wake up at, right? I know that if I wake up at that time period, not a lot of other people are awake, so I'll get more things done. And honestly, I started doing it a good week before this, so I can get like a good practice and make sure I want to do this. And although it's been kind of difficult, I know that it's very necessary, right? The top 1% do it, and I'm always looking at what the top 1% do and what they recommend. And I listen to a lot of Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Darren Hardy, Heather Ashes Mara, Jennifer Grace, right? So I'm learning from the best, and I'm figuring out what works for me. So if morning rituals or morning routines do not work for you, that's perfectly fine. But I say give it a shot, and normally you should give it a shot for more than a week because the first week it's hell, right? So I'm waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and the first things I'm doing, normally people would look at their emails or their phones, right? But I'm changing it up, right? And I'm creating a discipline. So I created literally a daily discipline calendar, right? Where I also have the moon phases attached to it. I'm creating a cycle in my life. So I'm making sure that I have different themes when it comes to, new moon, new intentions, full moon. I double check my intentions, see how I'm doing, and find a way, to continue that if possible. Make sure that my goals are set, right? So that's for goal setting purposes. There's also the seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall, and there's something in my hair, and what, all right, whatever. And what is going on there, and how I can, like one of them is for cleaning, one of them is for opening up, one of them is for mainly transformation, and with the 4 elements as well. I'm using everything I can here, right? So I created this little calendar that I have no problem sending to anyone if anybody is interested. And each one, let me see if I can get really close to it. Each one has little check marks, right? So I'm doing, there's 4 check marks on it. Besides when I wake up at 5 a.m., first thing I have to do is read A Course in Miracles. It's 365 days of lessons that are tied to the Bible. I'm not particularly religious. I am spiritual in general, but I'm not going to let a little word like God get in the way when it comes to such beautiful work that's in here. This A Course in Miracles has changed lives. It's called The Course, right? And I'm on part 2 already, and it's amazing what I've already learned, as long as you're actually doing the studying for it, right? So I read that. It takes less than 10 minutes for me to read A Course in Miracles. And then I journal. I journal in the mornings. As soon as I wake up after I read A Course in Miracles, I journal about the course. I journal about what I'm learning. I journal about yesterday. I journal about what I want to do today. You go crazy. You do what you can. Journaling is very necessary. It allows you to get everything that's going on in here, that picky, right? And put it on pen and paper. I recommend you don't put it on computer. I do that last minute if necessary. Sometimes if I'm in a rush and I need to journal something after the morning, of course, like in the middle of the day and I'm in traffic, I will, do an audio from, on my phone, HD recorder, and it's amazing what just comes out. So that's good to go too. But normally in the morning, especially if you're in that portal state between awake and asleep, you'll get the most information, and you're pretty much having divine downloads coming at you. And you're going to write down things like, oh, that's how I'm feeling. Got it. Didn't notice, right? So journaling is very useful. So in the mornings, 5 a.m., Course in Miracles, journaling. The next thing I do is I work out, right? So I do a 30-minute workout, and I have a Fitbit for it. I make sure I get my 10,000 steps in the morning. I do 30 minutes of active work. I have a trampoline in my room, which, I'm jumping all the time, and I'm dancing in my room when I'm cleaning, or I'll go downstairs and I'll do my leg workouts. I'll do some, whatever whatever it is for that day, right? So normally I do legs, arms, abs kind of thing, and then Sundays I do cardio / yoga so I can feel good, right? So this is an everyday thing, not just a weekday thing. Forgot to mention that, right? And then the 5th thing that I do is I meditate. So for meditations, a lot of people are kind of confused on the difference between meditation and mindfulness. And mindfulness is a thing that you want to do throughout your day. Meditation is a practice for mindfulness, right? So let's see, meditation, the way that I see, the way that I like to visualize meditation is, let's say you're on a hill, right? You're on a hill, and underneath the hill, or not underneath, right around the hill, right next to the hill, is a river, okay? And in that river, it's not water in the river, it's a river of thoughts, right? And on the hill, you're going to be sitting there with your arms crossed, or receiving, giving, depending on what you do. You can use your mala beads. There's 108 beads in here, so you can just go through it, right? So you want to be able to meditate however you feel comfortable in. There's a lot of people, and I have my own meditations, the future self meditation, the crossing the ravine meditation. So if you guys are interested in some audios, you guys can do that too. But a visualization is very useful as well when it comes to, you're on the hill, you see this river of thoughts, and a lot of people would normally walk up to that river, right? And it's the river of thoughts. You have thoughts going by. Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad. And a lot of people don't know about the hill at all. So just this visualization helps. A lot of people go up to the river and they just keep picking up. They keep picking up the thoughts and drinking it and holding it for as long as they can, right? And that river of thoughts is going crazy. But if you can learn how to sit on that hill and just look at the river of thoughts and say, huh, how interesting, and just stick to curiosity, you'll get a lot more done throughout your day, right? So, and that'll help you with your thoughts in general, how to handle your emotions. So meditation is a practice for mindfulness. For instead of your mind being full all the time, mindfulness allows it to be more silent. Okay, so those are my morning rituals and morning routines. I may add some sage in there, some yoga, whatever I feel like I'm in the mood for, but I stick to that routine. Oh, and a lot of times I have some tea, which is up here for me, and my little Disney cup to make me happy. So I do like a little tea meditation as well as part of my meditation. So you guys can decide on how long you want to journal, how long you want to meditate, how long you want to work out. But this is my morning routine. This is my starting process for the self-discipline. And if I continue this for 365 days, I'm going to be a different person. And that's what every single person, and I did a lot of interviews before doing this and seeing what works for them, what didn't work for them, what do they recommend, and this is what I've gotten so far. So if you guys are interested to join this journey with me, I'm on my 2nd day, so you guys can join with me. I'll be a day in advance, or you guys want to just catch up your day 1 and day 2 of A Course in Miracles and start with me. That'd be fantastic. I'd love to go on this journey with anyone that's interested, and let me know. Cool. Namaste.